welcome to Devlog 6 on my open world RPG style indie game. So, the game has changed a lot over time. I've added new stuff and made a lot of improvements, and what I'm going to show you first are the improved attacks. Before, his attacks were far more specific and limited, but I've given him a full-fledged combo system. And I also made a few small improvements, such as music and footsteps, and I even made a day and night cycle. If we're in here long enough, you'll actually see the sky change from day to sunset and all of that. Now, here are the combos. If you attack twice, then hit the combo button, as you see he will release a small barrage of attacks. This is his first combo string, and hitting the attack button 3 times before hitting the combo button causes him to unleash different types of kicks. The spin kick was meant to originally be used on a single target, but I just realized now could double as an AoE attack on multiple targets. Only hitting the attack button will unleash his basic attack string, and if you hit the combo button after 5 attacks, it will unleash an energy attack, which as you can see, drains stamina. I'm going to get into the UI in a moment, I just want to show the attacks first. Energy-based attacks like that one drain stamina, so you need to be strategic on how you use them. And if you hit the button 6 times before hitting the combo button, I failed, hold on. If you hit the attack button 6 times before hitting the combo button, you will unleash a powerful attack that eats up quite a bit of stamina, but is very dangerous to enemies. The purpose of these several different combos is not only to make combat feel fresh, but also to add a strategic element. Do you eat up a lot of your stamina to unleash powerful attacks that end the enemy quickly, or do you conserve it and simply use attacks that deal a little bit less damage, but also allow you to still retain your stamina? At the moment, you could still unleash energy-based attacks even when your stamina is gone, but don't worry, I'ma fix that in the future. The basic system is in place. Now I'll explain the UI. That bar that you can see clearly is the health bar. That represents your current health. But the number inside of that circle thing is your overall health. You see, in this game, you're going to be getting stronger and stronger all the time, and I want you to have a sense of that strength. When you get stronger and stronger, that number's going to go up to 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, and so on. That little thing with the blue energy looking stuff in it is your stamina bar, as you've already known by this point. I don't know if it's going to go up or not, but if it does, it will also have a way of showing you your overall stamina, and that is pretty much it for the UI. Now let me show you a new feature, beacons. Before, you would run around the map at totally random hoping to find an enemy, but since that clearly is not a very good gameplay mechanic, I made it so that when you press a button, the color of the specific enemy will appear in the sky, allowing you to locate them way easier. Now I'm about to demonstrate the game loop. The basic game loop goes like this. Find an enemy, beat the spit out of them, get stronger, and rinse and repeat until you're tough enough to beat the boss. And then you move on to the next biome, like the desert or whatnot, and continue. Here you can see the health bar going down and the usage of stamina in combo attacks in action. And once you pick up that little energy ball, you'll become even more powerful. You can see by looking at the overall health that I already got tougher by getting hit by the enemy a bit. Like, I wanted it to be kind of like a Zenkai boost thing, where damage can make you more powerful. However, it's a much better idea to get stronger simply by beating the enemies and then absorbing their energy, I guess, or whatever on Earth you do. Because I don't want people to just rely on getting hit in order to get stronger. I'm probably going to make being defeated very unpleasant, like you spawn high in the air and take minutes to float back down to the ground, just to make it very undesirable and so that people won't want to try to do that. Also, maybe you'll lose all of your inventory items or something. There are ways to make getting defeated unpleasant to discourage cheating. Now let's get into the world building. I made it now so that when you come to a certain area, like this here farmhouse in this farm area, you can harvest food like potatoes, corn, tomatoes, and all of that. Right now we're in the farm area where the most food is concentrated because gardening and stuff that took place in this area a little bit ago. And as you can see, you can collect food, and when I open up my inventory, it actually stores that food. You can toggle the X button so that you don't X out your food, and you can eat it, and it actually restores your health. I've already made it so that different foods give you different values of health, but I might add more benefits like how much stamina it gives you or something like that. And I'm also going to put different foods on different parts of the map so that it could yield you different benefits. This will also encourage exploration. You actually get something out of running around the map. It's not just for nothing. Speaking of exploration not being for nothing, at the beginning of the video, you may have seen a scroll on the floor. Well, guess what? That scroll actually served a purpose. Beforehand, I decided to make it so that after you defeat every boss, you get a new ability. But I figured it would be better to get the abilities through trials. As you see here, this is a parkour trial. You need to jump on these pillars in order to make it to the other side so that you could get a scroll and get a new ability. I figured that needing to worry about these here obstacles to get abilities would not only give you something else to do other than just constantly fighting and fighting, but it would also be a more fun way to give you abilities and something that would give you an incentive to explore other than just getting food and stuff. You see, even though fighting is the main focus of the game, which is why I added combos and stuff to make the fighting fun, I still want this game to feel, as well as an open world RPG, kind of like a sandbox. If you want to fight, you can fight. If you want to explore, you can explore. You can find obstacle courses like this to go through and get new abilities to make fighting easier, or you can find food to harvest. Or, once I get further into development, you can even find lore elements that tell you more about the story and stuff. Basically, just something extracurricular to do that still yields a benefit toward the game's main premise. You can release an energy pulse. This also can serve as an AoE attack. Now let me show you the world border. You see here, this grass, like in the context of the story, is really, really thick grass. It's here because the people who moved here, Karyon's people, planted it here in order to keep out bandits and dangerous creatures because they've traveled a long way from not very easy to inhabit places in order to get here. And I'll be honest, I'm a fan of large open spaces, and seeing all of that other land that you technically could traverse if given the chance just sitting there knowing you can't traverse it because of this grass that acts as a barrier, it's a little bit painful, I'm not gonna lie. But obviously it's unrealistic for me to pay attention to and give detail to a map that's way too large. This isn't Minecraft. You can't really feasibly have an infinite world, but it's alright. There's nothing really beyond there anyway, and plus, if I want to extend the land, I can. There's nothing stopping me, so hey, who knows? Maybe I can give you a little bit more space, but even if I don't, the biome is enormous as it is. It might not look that big just looking at it, but when you're running through it at a steady pace and it takes you 2 minutes to get from one part of the map to the next, you are probably going to be like, dang, this is a big map. I'm probably going to need to invent some mode of transportation or something. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the aspect of you hoofing it on foot, but I don't know. It'll depend on what the people playtesting this game says when I do actually get playtesters. And one more thing I want to say. You see these broke down looking shops, right? This was a result of what the monsters did when they took over. However, like I said, I want this game to be partially sandboxy, which is why I'm going to give you several different ways to do the same thing. If you want to get food and stuff, you can either get it yourself, or if I do implement a shopping system, you'll be able to earn money and buy food, or take money from the monsters who took it from the people, I don't know. But whatever the case, if I don't implement shopping, I'll probably make it so that you can get resources to repair the shops, which I'm gonna do anyway, and then they'll either maybe give you food or gold, depending on whether or not I implement a shopping system or not. But yeah, you could get it yourself or get it as a reward, or if I implement shopping, get it from the shop. And if you have any suggestions for this game, please do feel free to put them in the comments, because I want this game to be as good as it possibly can be, and I am very open to suggestions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell. And even if not, thanks for watching that video anyway. But I'd appreciate it. Have an awesome day and see you next time. Bye! Caryon's waving too.